Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm so excited for today. We have some amazing guests who I just love and adore, right? Both of us do.
Absolutely.
Jennifer and Mark Ostrowski are on the call with us today. And Dan and I actually had the chance to meet these two before they were famous. That's what I always like to say.
Famous.
We knew you before you were ISA celebrities, and we're so grateful for that. Dan and I live in Milwaukee, and these two lovely people live just outside of Chicago. And so we've had the great fortune of being at a lot of Isagenix events as we've all grown and evolved over the last few years. And I always tell this story about Jennifer. I was actually just at a leadership meeting, and the panel discussion was about public speaking. And I was telling them the story about how the first time I was on a major stage, I don't know if it was a Super Saturday or if it was an ICU in Chicago, and Jennifer was sitting in the front row, and she was like the perfect person to be in the front row of an audience when you are nervous as heck. And she is just smiling and beaming and nodding, and she is with you, and she is cheering for you. And these two have been major cheerleaders for us and each other, and it's been amazing to watch their journey. And Mark is the current IsaBody champion, and we are so proud of you, Mark, and to know you. And I'm excited for everyone to know you a little bit better, because if they knew you as a person, they would cheer and scream even louder. I was like crying at celebration, because to know the two of you is to be blessed immensely. So we're so excited to have you guys on today. So I thought we'd start by just having you guys share a little bit about your Isagenix story has looked like. I'll probably cry, because I cry every time I hear your story, but it's just really emotional, and I feel like a lot of people will relate to it. And I know people have probably heard bits and pieces of it, but really just to give people kind of a sense of where you started and kind of where you guys are at today.
Okay. I always like to start because Mark and I were high school sweethearts. We met each other when I was 15 and Mark was 17. And I just kept looking at the hot guy in the library and wondering if he was noticing me too. You know, we've known each other over 38 years, and we were high school athletes. You know, when we met, you have that youthful optimism that your life is like wide open and you can just do anything. And that's how we felt. And so we went on to college. Mark went on to law school. We got married. We had kids. And then I always let Mark take it from here, because that's when life got really busy.
Yeah, and so, you know, probably like most of the people that are on this call, you know, our lives revolved around a lot of our kids' activities. And, you know, that's really fantastic, because you want to see and be part of everything that your kids are involved in. And so our kids were involved in athletics. They were involved in school functions. They were involved in a lot of extracurricular activities. And, you know, we were—
I'm going to get our dog while he's talking.
We were in a situation where, you know, we had kind of really let ourselves go, because we were pouring so much love into our kids that we really didn't have any time to love ourselves, and had no respect for ourselves. And so suddenly, you know, we were living a life of convenience, and that life of convenience was different than the Isagenix lifestyle of convenience. It was concession stands, drive-throughs, lack of planning, and suddenly Jennifer was 180 pounds and I was 280 pounds.
You know, that I know people can relate, because we were running from our careers to their stuff to volunteer positions. You know, it just got really busy, and I was not preparing, is what it boiled down to. And unbeknownst to us, our oldest son, Alex, went to a former coach that he trusted, and he saw him on social media. And he said, I'm worried about my dad. And talk about a heartbreaking moment for both of us. You know,
we were embarrassed. We were ashamed. We were humiliated. You know, and that we didn't have a sense to realize that we had burdened our children with our poor health.
So we always say that was the day our why was born. You know, it was like, all right, well, we are not going to let our kids worry about it. One of Mark's favorite things to say is, you know, kids have enough to worry about these days. So parents should worry about their kids. Kids should never have to worry about their parents. And so we shifted into high gear. Alvy Shepard is the person that the kids went to, and he came over to our house and he just showed us his program. And you know what? We didn't blink an eye. We ordered the program and started right away. And
we didn't even, I mean, you know, there's so many people that, right, join Isagenix and all of a sudden then they become experts on nutrition and, you know, ask all these questions, even though they never ask questions when they go to Taco Bell or McDonald's or whatever. And we didn't ask a single question.
We didn't.
I was just so taken aback that, you know, my kids had so much concern for us that I was willing to do whatever it took. I was willing to do whatever we needed. And I would say the biggest thing, though, was that we decided, you know, was that we needed change. We needed change in our life. And if you're not prepared for change, then I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're doing, you know, Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, Seattle Sudden, Weight Watchers, Isagenix. Nothing is going to work if you're not prepared for change.
So we did this as a team. We held each other accountable, and in a very short amount of time, Mark lost over 100 pounds and I lost 45 pounds. And the best part about our story, I believe, is that 4 years later, we've had sustainable weight wellness. And to me, that speaks volumes for the products, the community. You know, it really, it just leaves me speechless. I've been a yo-yo dieter my whole adult female life, up and down, up and down, up and down. I could never find something that would give me sustainable weight wellness until we did Isagenix.
And me too. And, you know, when you live on that roller coaster, that yo-yo diet approach of living your life, you're like, it's no way to live. You know, you're constantly run down. You're constantly have low energy. You don't sleep well. You're stressed out. You have financial stress in your life as young parents, and it's just not a way to live. And so now to say, here we are 4 years later, literally at the same weight we were when we lost the weight. To find a way that we can live our life and know that it's just going to be this way from now on has been really, really amazing.
And then to go full circle, you know, we're athletes again. We have that youthful optimism that like life is like wide open for us, you know, and at 52 and 54, sometimes people think that that's just, you know, aging is just you start to not feel well. You start to not move your body the way you used to. You don't have energy anymore. And it just simply is not true. So we feel really blessed that Alvy introduced us and that we were, you know, full steam ahead. And here we are today. And
here's a tip, you know, when we're in the gym, you know, we didn't used to be. In fact, when we started our journey, we did no exercise, none. We just concentrated on our nutrition, but now we do things because, you know, our kids are older, so they're out of the house and in college. And so we have a chance to, you know, hike and bike and run and, you know, do things, and we enjoy the gym. And now when we're in the gym, you know, people are like, what are you training for? As if when you go to the gym, you have to be training for something, you know? Well, here's the tip. You know what we're all training for? Life.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And you know what? The reason I think your story is so relatable because, you know, Mark, as you so eloquently put, you know, you were putting your kids ahead of everything else, right? All their activities and running, and you were going to the other side of convenience food, right? And I think whether you have kids or not, there is this point in your life where I feel like the cycle happens where everything else prioritizes ahead of yourself. Right? Whether that's career, whether that's kids. I mean, people can find themselves in that cycle any which way. And I think it's just, that is such a powerful connection, I feel like, because I think everybody I know can relate to that, right? Where you haven't prioritized yourself and then you look in the mirror and you're like, how did that happen? You know, and really that being a catalyst for change. And I know Jamie Taylor said in the comments, if you're not prepared for change, nothing will work. And that is so true, you know, because, and ready to make the commitment long-term, right? And, you know, there Dan and I started Isagenix in April of 2012, and I don't think if you had told us then that we would still be drinking protein shakes, we would have been like, yeah, right. We like to eat, you know. But it just when we made that shift, like, oh my gosh, we can't go without this, and why would we?
Yeah.
It changed everything about the way we looked at the program. So thank you for sharing that. So I want to talk a little bit about. I know you guys are building a business now with Isagenix. You have rallied a whole bunch of other amazing people and have this amazing team growing. So talk about how participating in the IsaBody Challenge really impacted your business.
Yeah, so, participating in the IsaBody Challenge, I think, does a couple of things. Number one, it's accountability program that, really allows you to engage in a way where it's you versus you. And, unfortunately, we live in the 21st century, where everything's comparison. Everything's look at the person next to you, keep up with the Joneses, keep up with your neighbors. And, the reality is you just have to be the best you that you can be. And, when we started IsaBody, for us, that's all it was, is a 16-week accountability program. And the thing that we loved about it was, and we chased the gold star. That's really what happened. We love these products. They're amazing. And they're going to give us $600 of free product to each of us, $1,200 a year of the products we love already just for doing this. And we just have to take a few photos. Nobody's going to really see photos anyway, right?
That's what we thought.
And
Nope.
so we did it. And we're like, okay, t-shirts and free product, I can go for the gold star. I mean, that's incredible, right? And that was the initial motivator. And, quite frankly, all this other stuff, as far as being recognized as honorable mentions or as the grand prize winner and these trips and all that, that's just been extra. That, because we had already won by getting our life back and getting our health in order.
But the amazing part about our team growth with IsaBody is a couple things. First of all, I think it's made us better leaders, because when you get into the IsaBody, you're doing it for yourself, but you're also inspiring a whole bunch of people, right? And so when you're on our team, you are definitely enrolled in the IsaBody. That to me is, but I think it's really created
there's actually not a choice. We just say, this is what you do.
Right.
And you take your photos and you're going to get more free product. And it's pretty awesome. And, we'll help you along the way. And nobody will ever see them. I like to tell the story about one of our enrollees, Leah Shea, who was an honorable mention. She couldn't take her own photos because she didn't have her husband home when she was home because she's a nurse. And so she duct taped her phone to the wall and took the photos and they picked her.
Yeah.
How incredible is that? So when people say, do you have to take professional photos?
No,
we have a neighbor who duct taped her phone to the wall.
You don't. So in addition to like leadership, growing our business, we also feel like we're role modeling all of the Isagenix solutions. And, I think on the IsaBody stage, when you look at the finalists and everyone has a different focus. If it was energy that got them through the IsaBody, if it was muscle gains, if it was healthy aging. I mean, you always see all of the solutions represented, and you see every age group. So for us also, the IsaBody and our business, it really role models for other people that all the solutions are there for you, whether you use one or all five. And then,
and that was one of the things that I stressed when I was going through the process and the interviews and all that, was I just said, look, I'm not only a product of the product, I use every single solution that Isagenix offers. It started out for weight loss. It turned into increased energy, which led to performance. We're aging more gracefully, and we certainly are thankful for the financial opportunity.
And, really to show the power of that great product, which is wealth creation, I was able to retire from my preschool job because I felt like, I was directly impacting students, which was an amazing thing. And I still sub on a regular basis, but I could tell, because I think the biggest thing, and it was our why, was to impact our kids so that they weren't worried about us. But we saw that when parents get healthy, the trickle-down effect to their children is massive. And so I just felt like if I'm going to make a mark on this world, if Mark and I are going to make a mark on this world, we want to impact parents so that that trickles down to their kids, because I see that in my preschool class on a daily basis, because I see parents who love themselves and take care of themselves, and I see others that don't. And so that really truly is our why right now. And so it's been an amazing gift, and I really appreciate the fact that I can be home now and really be working on that full time.
And I think, when you look about, people don't look closely enough at the financial opportunity because they think it's too good to be true. But the reality is all we wanted to do was get healthy. And in turn, we've been given or been blessed with this amazing, kind of side gig that has been incredible. And hopefully it'll lead to something that we do full time, all the time. And so, when people give us excuses along the journey, and we've probably all heard them, it costs too much, I don't have the time, whatever it is, for us on the receiving end of that, it's pretty transparent, right? Why don't you just say your health is not a priority right now? Because in most cases, if something's important to you, you will make the time. If something's important to you, you will find a way to pay for it. And so, and I'm not bashing anybody that makes those excuses. I'm just saying, let's be real about what it is, let's be real about what happens, because there are solutions here that can change so many aspects of your life. Why not avail yourself to them?
That would be the mailman delivering all my Amazon packages. So you go grab the dog. That's what it is. I know. I'm like,
that cannot happen silently at your house. No, I think that's really powerful, Mark, because that goes back to what you said at the beginning, right? If you're not prepared for the change, nothing will work, right? Which is really an objection is just they're not ready yet, right? More than whatever the objection is that they're saying. And I do think, one of the reasons I think the IsaBody Challenge can impact business, right? I think sometimes, and I know I was this way at the beginning, it was like, IsaBody felt more product driven than business driven. And I actually think the secret sauce is realizing the IsaBody is a business tool that will really drive your business if you use it effectively. One, because we know the stats show retention and all that stuff, the ability of the groups, all those things. But I feel like too, like it keeps you engaged to be a product of the product, right? And I think that if I look at your journey, and from an outside perspective, I see how the IsaBody Challenge from an outside viewpoint would have impacted your business. It's you're out there like living the Isa life, right? And that is the best billboard you could have in your business. And that isn't, I always want people to know, right? That isn't about always having a six-pack abs or, muscles and all this stuff, but it's really embracing the lifestyle, right? For what Isagenix is and can do for your body.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So I know that obviously we're in Q4, December holiday timeframe. So I have kind of two questions, and they kind of go, like, we'll kind of piggyback off of each other. One, I think, most of the people hopping on this call are people that are building an Isagenix business or interested in building an Isagenix business. So I'm always curious to know, like, what you as business builders are doing to kind of prepare for the new year. But on the flip side of that, also, you guys have had such tremendous, product-driven transformations that I think people would be curious to know, like, how are you helping your team kind of make it through the holidays with their own kind of product story and journey and kind of what that looks like? So I kind of am asking like two questions about really what you're doing around the holidays. One is product-driven, because quite frankly, I think this is a time of year where people really struggle to stay on track. And then two, I know historically speaking, Q1 is usually the largest part of our year, though it seems to be flip-flopping. We've had this end of the year this year with all the Isagenix promos has been amazing, but really I think people would like to know kind of what you're doing to prepare for the new year from a business perspective.
And I think the answer to that is we just haven't taken our foot off the gas, because I think that happens like you mentally. I'm saying to my team, December is the new January. Because Mark and I started our Isagenix journey November 10th of 2014, right before those holidays. And so we, again, are role modeling the fact that, hey, this is a lifestyle and you can absolutely have the best holiday season while really loving and taking care of yourself and nurturing your body with this great nutrition. So I've kind of flipped that to say, you know, let's get the mindset that December is when people are going to want to start, because it is so powerful to put on that little black dress on Christmas Eve and be like, dang, I'm sexy, instead of, January 1st saying, okay, now I have to shift it into high gear. So just that little mental switch for our team to say, don't take your foot off the gas. People really do need you in December. And then again, and we've always done our Q4 this way. We are filling the tunnel. I'm still doing my 5 by 5 by 5, meaning, 5 reach outs, 5 follow-ups, 5 pouring love into people, and really just staying consistent with that. Because you do really, as you fill your funnel, it does come out. So if you've done a good job, fall, September, October, November, then December won't feel as slow as historically people are saying. So that's kind of how we've done that with our, Q4.
And from the product perspective, I would just say, we try to remind people that the holidays, especially like Christmas Day, or, you're even going backwards, Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving to Christmas, those are just one day, so when you're with your family, and there's maybe some overindulgence or whatever, just remember those are just one day. Don't let it turn into multiple days or a week or months. Just if you get off track those one day, big deal, then you go back to the lifestyle that has gotten you to a good place on all the other days, And
our big advice too is when we tell people, let's say you have a really fun holiday party, your work party is that night. Don't save the calories. Mark and I are big. We coach our team on that protein pacing or that interval eating, and don't skip the snacks and maybe skip the shake because you're saving calories. Continue on, power through that day like you would an absolute regular Isagenix shake day, and then journal what you're having, and then if you go to the party, if you can remember all the things that you ate, you've done a great job, right? So
and a lot of times, depending on parties or this goes for restaurants or whatever, you can make good choices, and nobody thinks any less of you because you made a certain good choice. So,
And then one last thing that we do, and our kids are like, is we've taken the focus off the food. And we turn it back to conversation and good times and playing games and getting outside to play a little game of touch football or whatever that is, right? Like just a quick story. We have a group of high school friends that we do a dinner for, and we all take turns hosting it. Well, this year it's our turn, and they were dying because they're like, so sometimes you go to a fancy restaurant, sometimes we have like an ugly sweater party. Well, this year Mark and I decided we're going to our health club, and they're all like, it's like 15 of them. And I said, no,
you're
you
not
guys
gonna make us work
out, are you? But this is what I scheduled. We have a beautiful restaurant attached to our health club, and they let me choose awesome entrees. We're gonna have a family style, but I scheduled a dance instructor to come, and we have 6 or 7 couples, and we're gonna learn a little swing dance. So we have like appetizers and cocktails. Then we're gonna have an hour of this really fun non-food activity and really laugh it up and really get a little physical, maybe not sweaty. And then we're gonna go share a beautiful dinner, family style together. So for me, it was turning that social thing, that dinner party, into something like a little bit more fun with the focus off the food, right? So
yeah.
And I think that's really crucial. I mean, I know sometimes we'll have a babysitter and it's like, well, what do we want to do? We don't always want to go out to eat, right? And I think that is a society shift that and it starts with you, right? It starts with you, the one to invite, you being the one to think a little bit outside the box, right? To engage people in a really different way. I think that's really powerful. I also want to reiterate what you said, Jennifer, about not holding your calories. So I was a former, I participated in a program where we counted points, wink, wink. Yeah. Dan will be a testament to this. We're
I'm
literally
gonna save all my points for tonight.
Yeah. And it would literally be like I would eat super clean or almost at a space where I was really depriving myself like Monday through Friday so that I had enough points that I could binge all weekend. And what I know now based on what I've learned in Isagenix is like how damaging that was actually to my metabolism, right? Was just like constant like deprivation and then binge and then deprivation and binge. And I think what I'm hearing you say about your business and about product use for the holidays, number one, it's about consistency, right? Just like doing what you're doing and then giving yourself the grace from a product perspective to have those holiday moments and experiences, but let's not let holidays run from December 20th to so
I always think about the flat tire. Just because you have one flat tire doesn't mean you have to walk around the car and shoot out all of the tires.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And you know, we're big believers still in intermittent fasting and cleansing. You know, we I would stress this, you know, we don't cleanse as often because we don't feel we're as toxic as we were at one point in time. We think the one thing that happens in this program is cleansing gets a little bit abused. You know, people binge on the weekend and then they cleanse, and that really shouldn't be the reason you cleanse. You probably need to cleanse to detoxify, just like you would change the air filter in your car. You're going to change the air filter in your body. But you know, if you're running fairly efficiently, you know, and you're eating clean most of the time and you're exercising, right? You know, you're not in a place where you needed to cleanse like you did when you were in severe weight loss mode. So we try to use that in a reasonable way and still factor it into everything we do.
And I usually challenge my team to cleanse without getting on the scale before or after, because then that gets your mindset back to the original intention of Isagenix cleansing, and that is to filter out your liver and detoxify your body. It is not about weight loss. And so that's a real good little thing to do, is like, that way you have no idea how many pounds you lost, but just that you feel better, right? Your energy's better, so that's the challenge during the holidays is, all right, you guys, if you're going to cleanse, maybe just do it without even a start or an end point and just go with how you feel.
Yeah, and I think that's important, right? I think that's important for all of Isagenix, right? Is that like you're going with how the products make you feel. And that's what I would say about Ionics too, right? I'm always like, Ionics during the holiday, double, triple dose, whatever you need to get through it, right? Because our bodies are so impacted by stress, and can be such a stressful time. So I think, you know, that is really important. I'm going to take that cleansing tip because I am definitely somebody that I'm super guilty of, like, hopping on the scale the morning I start a 2-day cleanse, and then the morning the 2-day cleanse is over.
It does.
And it doesn't even matter, right? Because I love the 2-day cleanse because I wake up like the morning after day two, I'm like energized and I'm wide awake and my eyes are clear and my skin feels, it's just, why does the scale? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Julie, because what ends up happening, right, is if you get tied to the scale with cleansing, right, what usually happens is you do a 2-day cleanse, you have a lot of mental clarity, focus, all those good things that come with it, maybe more energy, and you lose, let's say, hypothetically 5 pounds. Within a very short period of time, you put those 5 pounds back on. So, it really doesn't have to be about the scale. It can be more about, how you're feeling and how that helps you as you go along.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, I know we're getting ready to wrap up, and I just want to say, ask one final question, just as if somebody new is hopping on this or watching the recording, what would be your advice about hopping into Isagenix, from a business perspective, let's say, so they're considering doing this. What kind of advice or tip would you give them to take away from this call about what you feel like has really helped you guys?
For me, I think I never realized that a little bit extra income, that's all I focused on was at first just getting my products paid for, and then how organically that grows when you love something. So as we developed a stronger love for Isagenix, and as we saw how it changed every part of our life, our weight, our energy, our healthy aging, our performance in the gym, and our financial blueprint, it just started organically growing just to be more helpful in our financial blueprint. And I think that's a great place to start, because I think if you start the business and you're like, I want to be a millionaire, you know, it just, the goal seems so far away that if you start with these little baby steps, I really just want to get my products paid for solidly every single month, and then you keep moving forward, it just grows into an amazing gift that is helping us pay for our kids' college. It's helping us pay for, you know, we finished paying for our house. We made our last mortgage payment, and Isagenix contributed to all of that. We've taken great vacations. So those little goals, get your products paid for, then maybe, you know, a car payment or 1 or 2 bills, or, hey, the next level is going to be, we're going to take an amazing vacation with our family, and that's going to be on Isagenix, and the bonus is that we got our life and health back, right? And then you just keep moving your business forward that way. And I truly believe if you never quit, the beauty of residual income and how that unfolds, you will get to the place of your dreams, whatever that is. So
yeah, and I agree. I mean, I never realized how much financial stress I had in my life. And, you know, we're feeling it in an intense way right now. And, you know, let me just get on my soapbox for a second and say that what the United States educational system is doing to families and the cost of college when you have multiple kids in college. I mean, there's no greater stress in your life than that. And, you know, the fact that now we are not living as paycheck to paycheck as we were before. And when you have that, a little bit of that stress relief in your life,
it's huge.
It's huge, because you not only can maintain your health, but you maintain your mental clarity, you maintain a lot of things that go hand in hand with that financial stress. And I guess all I'm trying to say is, by having this solution in your life and by having this financial opportunity, you're just able to more easily manage financial stress that comes with everybody's raising of a family.
Yeah, I think, you know, we're at, you know, our kids are young, right? And I remember when we were first, before Isagenix came into our life, and we were both working full time, and we always tell people our kids were the first ones dropped at daycare and the last one picked up. And we thought daycare was expensive. And you guys are at the other end of the spectrum, and you're like, just wait for college. So we're really feeling blessed that we started Isagenix when our kids were little. And hopefully by the time they're in college, our Isagenix will be paying for their college too. But it is such a blessing. And I think that until people have a vehicle that feels like it can provide a solution, they don't even realize exactly what both of you are saying. They don't even realize the burden that the financial stress is actually causing, right? Because sometimes when we don't see a way out, it like is buried, and it manifests in gut issues and lack of sleep and all things. And finally, you know, you're like, okay, maybe I can get out of it. And then you realize, my gosh, I had no idea all the ways that the financial stress was impacting me, even from a physical standpoint. So
and Julie, the biggest thing that now I am full steam ahead with the financial solution, thinking that, and really believing that is the best product that Isagenix provides, because we are living in a society right now that if you don't have multiple streams of income, it is without a doubt. Look at our unemployment rate. You could have that rug pulled out from underneath you in one day, and then all of a sudden you are stuck there without any kind of income source. So I firmly believe, and I hope everyone watching this is on board with, everyone deserves an extra stream of income so that their financial wall is built, so that nobody can pull out rugs from underneath you. And so full steam ahead, you guys. It's an amazing, amazing product. Use it, share it every single time. Everyone deserves to hear our you share, they share. They deserve it. Don't feel like that's a weird thing. If you don't share that piece of it, you haven't shown the whole Isagenix program. Be bold with it.
we talk to everybody we can about Isagenix. I'm sure to the point where we probably have lost friendships
So
over
what?
it. But
Your friends are like, are they serving protein shakes at the gathering at the gym?
I know, Mark, I have a cookie exchange that I'm going to next week. Mark goes, bring protein balls. I go, Mark, come on. I will.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head though, right? People deserve it. And I think that is, you know, if I could summarize the way that, you know, Dan and I view you guys as people that you have such large hearts and you are all about serving people and meeting them where they're at, but also, you know, like, there is so much out there in life to get, and you shouldn't be sitting on the sidelines, right, of your life. And that's what I get when I'm with you guys is like, go out there, live your life, allow these products to transform you from the standpoint of giving you the energy and the vitality, but then also this just massive opportunity that runs alongside of it, and that it's all so driven from your heart. And I'm sure anybody on today and listening to the recording can tell why your business is growing and thriving, and why, you know, you have transformed your lives using Isagenix. So thank you guys for giving us time today. We really, really appreciate it. And New Year's kickoff in January. And Mark, are you going to be on stage? There is an IsaBody segment at New Year's kickoff, I know.
So just a preview for anybody who might be attending or thinking about attending. So this session will be really amazing. We're going through a bunch of preparation for it now, but Isagenix has kind of reconfigured the 3-time-a-year reporting structure, and now they're going to announce 15 new US finalists. I think actually they just did that, or some people are posting about it now. And so, they're going to name the first ever United States Grand Prize winner in January at NYKO in Phoenix. And that individual will get to compete with all the other Grand Prize winners of all the other countries for a global Grand Prize winner, and they can win $50,000.
$50,000.
That's just incredible.
I'm at the gym. No, that is incredible. And, I think that the IsaBody segment at every Core 4 event, I always tell people, we always give our team gift bags, and Kleenex are always in them, because when you hear the way these products have transformed people's lives, you are just a firm believer in them. So we're excited and to see you, Mark, on stage and hear all about the new IsaBody challenges. Thank you guys again for your time today and blessing our team and all those that'll catch this recording. Have an amazing week, you guys. Keep with it, stay consistent through the holidays, and looking forward to seeing you all in Phoenix in January. So take care, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.